Hello, my name is Kelly Etheridge. I've been in business for 30 years. We currently work out of our work area at our home. We used to have a huge storefront, but we kind of downgraded from that, trying to make things simple in life. So I'm all about the money makers. I like to make money. We have an X-16 Xanté printer. We've had it since roughly March of this year. It's more versatile. We can do the mugs, coffee cups, poker chips, golf balls. The truth of it is you're only limited by what your mind will tell you you're limited by. If you can figure out a will to make it, if you want to make the money, you figure out a way to get it done. Now that they came out with the new material, love this. This is done on these. Love this too, because if you can't figure out, get a flat surface, then you can make these little decals. You stick them right on, they're UV printed. You stick them on, you pull off the top that you can put directly on a curved surface, an odd surface, anything really. You just have to figure out the components. This is really handy. So this is my very expensive way of putting a decal on. So if I had my blank mug here, like for instance, that's blank. So you just stick it, you eyeball it, and then you peel it off nice and slow. If it doesn't stick, just put a little more pressure on there. Here. Now this will go through a dishwasher, just like anything else, except for it says not to dishwash these cups, and that's what I tell my customers. Do not dishwash these, they're not dishwasher safe, but if they choose to, that will stay there. Now what happens to the cup is not my problem. And so at this point, it will stay on there. Now if someone took an X-Acto blade, it will come off. But if it sits, the longer it sits, it will adhere to there to a point where nobody will ever know that it wasn't direct printed. Like that was a direct print. This is your decals. These I did on top of glitter. Mugs are a very positive aspect, in my opinion, to be able to use this for. We also do the direct poker chips. We do a little front and a back. And we sell these on Etsy with different fronts and backs, or whatever the customer chooses to have. The reason why we ended up with our Xanté is did a lot of investigating to try to come up with another UV printer that we could utilize in our business. We feel that it's advantageous to have one than not to have one. He called a lot of their customers. We called them up and said, hey, could you give us a few customers? We'd like to talk with them about the products that they're doing, the problems they're having, how simple it is to keep up with the maintenance, what kind of maintenance there was. This was our important problems in our old machine. We called a lot of those customers. They seemed extremely happy. They explained to us they had very little problems as long as they did the maintenance, and the maintenance was stirring the ink with a little stir stick every day and to do a test print every day. So we do a test print every morning and stir our inks up. When it comes to the cost of our goods, it tells us in the software exactly how much any particular item is costing us ink-wise. The inks do not seem outrageously priced. Everyone makes mistakes. You will hit something at some point, and the head cost versus other machines, in my opinion, is minuscule. Our old machine, if you hit a head and you messed up your head, you were looking at a $3,000 to $3,500 fix. So when it comes to the cost of their tubing, their actual parts, they're extremely reasonable compared to other options. That's another reason why we decided was the cost efficiency, that if something should go wrong, what it's going to take to fix it, because everything goes wrong at some point in your life. So be prepared for it, and we were prepared and knew exactly what we were stepping into. A true 18 by 24 bleed on a corrugated plastic sign. Not all of them do that, so that was important to us as well because it saves time. You don't have to have borders or trim down the corrugated plastic sign. So that was the biggest excitement, was when we got it, the rotary, and we saw how it went, we were like, oh, this is even better than we thought. So our old printer that we used to have, which is in a junk pile right now, by the way. So for me, that I don't have to babysit it, I don't have to sit here and keep watching it. Once it gets started and I do the initial test print, I like it. I mean, it makes me money. My goal, make money. It makes money. That's why you buy a product, and that's why you're in business, is to make money. It saves me time. It works very efficiently. And cost-wise, for the inks is in anybody's reasonable budget. Now, if I get so busy that this printer can't keep up, then yes, I would definitely buy another one, because I feel, again, the aspects of the cost of each production piece. You're talking pennies to do a cup. Absolutely pennies. Your largest investment is the time that it's taking to walk over, or someone to walk over and stick it on the machine. The cost of the replacement parts are extremely cheap. The maintenance is extremely easy. So if I was to have a secondary need, I would turn around and try to buy this same exact model. All right, so the day I got my machine, it came in a crate. We uncrated it. They had these little handles in all four corners, which was really nice, because 4 people could grab each corner, pick it up, and walk it through our doorway. And this made it wonderful, because you literally could grab it, sit it right onto its pedestal with absolutely no problems. The tech was here. He unpacked everything, did a couple test prints. Everything was fine at that point. Showed us at that point how to start operating the piece of equipment, making sure that your head wasn't going to hit. Got us through the software, so we learned pretty much the entire system in about 6 hours. There are always questions after the fact. You're going to have a problem, you can call, send an email. They'll have a tech call you and step you through any issues with if one line is not shooting, how to bypass it. Once you do that a couple of times, you understand how the machine works and what you need to do. So it's not like every day you have to call a tech. Just, you may have some questions at first, some confusion, things not working the way you think it is. You just send out a little message, someone calls you and helps you through it. And if there's anything that you have to replace that may go bad, a dampener, they're extremely easy to get to. They're right here, you just move it over the head, and you can get right there, you can get to everything. You lower this, if you need to do something to the actual head down here, it's easy to get to. All of this, so you don't have to tear apart your machine to pull out a dampener, to do the basic fixes, the everyday things, or something you have to do every couple of months. It's very quick and easy. That was another thing we were very happy with, the fact that everything was right there. The software that comes with the device is called IQ. I am not a incredibly computer literate person. I don't like changes. I think I've mentioned that a few times. Pretty much it comes with the software. You load it up into a computer. It is not an overly difficult software. It kind of steps you through it. If you're doing darks, you can adjust out the whites. You can also pull in the pixels. And recently they just adjusted it to where you can also extend the pixels. So if you wanted white outline around everything, it actually will do it. It's quick and easy now that I've done it over and over. It's a matter of seconds to go from one job to the next, one job to the next, one job to the next. It's very quick. You can see what it is. You know what you're printing. You drag it over to the printer. Printer starts printing. Well, we have printed, of course, the golf balls, the poker chips, glass, everything. One of the coolest things, I think, one of my customers, he makes tattoo armrest, custom. A lot of times people will want a logo on there, and they want it so elaborate I cannot embroider it. So we have started printing on it. It actually comes out really nice first. It does not break like you would think it would, because it embeds into the actual leather. At times, the way that the print does, it almost looks iridescent if you have certain colors, like a black piece of material, and you're printing yellows. If you back off the white a little bit and don't go real heavy on the white, it actually looks like an iridescent print, which is pretty unique in itself. Every customer that's got one has absolutely loved it versus just, having a name slap across on a piece of embroidery. I'm pretty sure you can print on just about anything if you just allow yourself the thought. If you can't print on it because it's not flat enough, you print on this special paper, you laminate it on a heater, and it puts a laminate over it, and it doesn't matter. We've done weird bottle openers that no way would go under the machine. The head wouldn't allow it. We couldn't engrave it if our life depended on it, so we printed little decals and stuck them on there. And again, it's not a decal because it is actual ink, and they were very happy with it, and they did not even know how we did it. So hey, if you got a happy customer and it stays on there, they're happy, you get 5 more customers from that one customer. What probably pulls out most is if you do have an issue, you can send out a message. You will get a phone call back or an email back stepping you through the process of fixing a problem pretty quick. If you can't fix it, send another email out and you'll get a phone call. Some companies might take you a couple of days to get that phone call. Pretty much, I think every time we've had an issue, we've had somebody call us within 30 minutes to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and ask what the problem is, step me through it. Again, I am not a fixer. If I can fix it, anybody can fix it. If I can run this machine, seriously, I think anybody can run the machine. I do a lot of things, and I have to learn a lot of different pieces of equipment. This one probably was one of the simplest to learn and adapt to versus some of the other ones. But if you're not sure, go find someone who has one, make those phone calls like we did, and I think you'll get your answers. You'll be, it'll either sway you or not sway you, but in my opinion, it's almost, I'd never heard of it, that they had them, to be quite frankly honest. So when we did the investigation, we found out they had them. We used to have a piece of Xanté equipment a long time ago, printer. We loved that printer. So we knew quality-wise what we were probably getting. We just weren't familiar with what all the semantics was for maintenance. Maintenance is important too, because if you don't maintain them, you're going to replace a head. A head, again, is very cheap versus $3,000 to $5,000 for replacement with other companies. That was my swear right there. The cost of replacement parts is so economical versus everyone else that I'm happy with that. My name is Kelly Etheridge. Again, my company is Graphic Results, and I am an Xanté happy customer.